Okay, have you got a job?
Okay, I'm here with Larry Lloyd from Nottingham Forest. I'm going to ask him a few questions about his career and the season so far from Nottingham Forest. Okay, Larry Lloyd.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. My name's Craig.
Okay.
Can I ask you about when you first signed for Forest from Coventry City for 60,000 in 1976? Did you ever imagine that the club would become so successful?
No, not really, because at the time, as you say, I was with Coventry. We were in the first division, which of course it's all changed now. It's a Premiership, and Forest were pretty much a struggling second division club. So it was a gamble with my career. Should I leave a big time club and take a step back, or is that step back forever? If you know what I mean. So I took that gamble, and then history speaks for itself. That very season I came, we got promotion. And we went on to win everything else, to European Cups, to League Cups, League Championship, and we're very successful.
You played under both Brian Clough and Bill Shankly, two of the greatest managers ever. Who would you regard as a better manager, and what qualities did that particular manager have that stands him out from the rest?
Well, I get asked that question many, many times. Who was the better of the two managers, Shankly or Clough? And I've always found it difficult to separate them. They're both geniuses as far as football management goes. If I look at Shankly did it when I was there. I know when Shankly originally went there in about 65 or early 60s, Liverpool were a very small club and he built them up. But when I went there, they were a big club with big resources. So it was quite easy. Easy may be the wrong word, but it was more acceptable that a club of that size should win things. Then I look at Clough. He's done it twice. First of all with Derby County and of course with Nottingham Forest, two relatively small clubs in the football world. So, people still tie me down, well, you've got to make a decision which is the best manager. Both of them were absolute geniuses, as I already said. But probably Clough had the harder job simply because, as I said, he did it with two smaller town clubs and the resources weren't there as they were with Liverpool. So, in a way, I suppose, Clough has got to be the bigger achiever.
What would you consider as the greatest achievement in your career so far?
Well, I've been lucky. As I've said, I had two careers in a sense. 5 years at Liverpool when I won the League Championship, UEFA Cup, all in one season. That was the first time in the history of Liverpool Football Club that a European trophy and a domestic trophy had been won in the same season, so that was a privilege. I played in an FA Cup final, albeit on a losing side. I represented my country no less than 16 times at different levels. I came here, 2 European Cups with Forest, 2 League Cups, another Championship. There's not much I haven't won in the game, and it's very difficult to say, to pick out one, the highlight of my career. But again, tie me down, I suppose we've got to look at the first European Cup way back in 1979. When we beat Malmo in Munich 1-0. The game itself was pretty awful. It wasn't a very good game, but to be then champions of Europe, the best team in Europe, I suppose as a one-off, I've got to point my finger at that game.
Comparing Forest's performance lately and...
Yep, second part of your question. Okay, the performances of late have been pretty poor. In fact, they've been damn awful. We haven't won for, I think it's about 13 games, league games, which I believe is now or is equal to the all-time record in the history of Nottingham Forest about not winning a game, the length of time without winning a game. So it's time it changed. There's still time for Forest to pull themselves around and get out of the relegation zone. It's going to be difficult.
Forest have had so many excellent players throughout the years, but they seem to always have walked out the door and gone to new clubs. How has this affected the club?
Well, you're going to get this with the clubs the size of Nottingham Forest. There are only about 4 or 5 clubs in the land in the Premiership that you won't walk out on. All the others are considered a selling club. That's the wrong expression, but maybe you have to sell a player here, there, now and then to survive. Forest are not Manchester United, Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool. They haven't got resources that these clubs have got, Chelsea. So if the right bid comes along for anyone, then they've got to sell. And that's not only Nottingham Forest, that's probably about 10 clubs in the Premiership.
the situation with Pierre Van Hooydonk right now.
Yeah.
Is he still wanting to leave?
Well, Pierre Van Hooydonk, yes, I'm sure he wants to leave. He came back, after his strike, and all the bull about he wasn't welcome in the dressing room. Yeah, there was words spoken, but the air was cleared. They all get on very well in there, but I think the bottom line is that eventually Pierre will leave the club when the right offer comes.
He's not actually scoring goals at the moment, can't he?
Well, about 6 appearances, I think, since he's been back. He scored 2 goals. Probably, by Pierre Van Hooydonk standards, that's not very good. But don't forget, he came back here, and he was only back here about a week, and he was thrown straight into the Premiership. He'd not played a competitive match since June. And no matter how fit you keep yourself by running around a training pitch, you still need the matches to get yourself match fit. And he didn't have that, and it's taken him his time. But his contribution, albeit not with goals, has been marvellous. He works very hard. Okay, this is Larry Lloyd. Just like to say Merry Christmas to everybody at New College, Nottingham.
And if we're relegated?
Well, that might be just speculation. That might be just a fill in newspaper. I don't know. But I mean, the facts of life tell you that Steve Stone, he's about 27. He's on a marvellous contract here, a very big contract. If Forest are relegated, I mean, it's a fact of life that can Forest support Steve Stone in the First Division financially? And secondly, of course, does Steve Stone want to play in the First Division when he's at a crucial stage of his career? Still designs about forcing his way back into the England squad, and if he goes down to the First Division, obviously that's not going to happen. So it's a double-edged thing. Can the club afford to keep Steve Stone if they are relegated? I don't.